I have a big question for you today. It's one that I'm going to chew over all day. So I'm going to explain it at the outset and work backwards from there. So it's what is the truth that you were born knowing? What is your most core truth? What's the truth that you tell with your whole body? What's the truth that when you utter it, you're almost singing? What's the truth that can't be shaken when someone comes after you? And it's not a defensive pushback when someone goes for it. You're just a no, I know this is true. I know this is true. And it could be a very simple truth, but it's yours. And you were given it in this body, in this life. And part of our journey here is to recall it, remember it, recall it back into our lives currently. Because there is a core truth in you that you were born to share and born to tell. Some of mine is sharing like the highs and lows and my absolute utter humanity and my hubris and my glory and my magnificence and my neediness. So maybe you won't be afraid to share yours. That's the invitation. And then the second follow up to that is your core truth is stored in your body. It's why you have a visceral reaction when you get close to it and tell it. You have a bodily reaction. And we've been trained to ignore our instincts. We've been trained to go with the flutter of the gut, not the truth that's underneath the flutter, if you know what I mean. Because the sure thing is not a push, an adrenaline, a shock. It's the warm, slow, very still truth. And it's what I aspire to get down to every day. At least touch it once a day. Because the ego still feeds us stories. It will always feed us stories, and some of them are really important for us to retain. But when you hit that little hit of truth every single day, that's part of your reps. And it can build that core stronger and truer. So when people come after it, and they will, because the truth is threatening to people that don't want to live there. So even if you're not brandishing it or hitting people over the head with it, they're going to have a reaction. They're not really going to like it. But there will be a serenity in you resting in that truth. You know, if you were hooked up to the lie detector, it would be smooth sailing. So I'd like you to take today, throughout the day, maybe little pieces of it here and there. And by the end of the day, have one piece of truth that you can hold. Maybe recite it like a mantra. Maybe you use it as a prayer. Maybe it becomes part of your ritual every day to take care of it and maybe grow it a little more and add to it every day. Because that's part of your arsenal of your, I'm going to call it reserves, right? It's part of strengthening your soul and doing the work required because it's not always easy to tell that truth. Sometimes it's really difficult. But if you get used to feeling the truth resound through your body, it will get easier. And you'll get used to it. And you'll start to crave it. because there's an edge there. It's exciting to really live there because it means you are naked of your stories. So that's what I offer you today. I'm going to try to touch my truth as much as I can during the day today. And I will see you tomorrow.